What's going on, everybody? I know this is unusual. I don't normally do live streams on Monday nights. I don't normally do live streams on this channel. That I save for the EDC Hour channel. But I just got back from the California Custom Knife Show yesterday. And we did not do the EDC Hour yesterday. One, because of the Super Bowl. Two, because I was just landing and getting home and all of that good stuff. So Alice, thank you for being first and checking in. Will, what's up, bud? How's it going? Joe, howdy. All right, so had a great time at the California Custom Knife Show. Short trip, went down Saturday morning, came back Sunday afternoon. Brad, what is up? And just had a great time. Like, I got to see a lot of the friends that I get to see basically every year when I go to the show. And I've got some pictures here I'll share in a minute. Just I kind of suck at taking pictures at shows because I get into the knife enthusiast mode and I just kind of geek out on the knives and the people and the friendships. So, but I wanted to talk about the California Custom Knife Show. And if anybody was there, would love to have you chime in. Just so everybody knows, I was carrying the Peacemaker literally in my pocket for the entire show. I figured I would take my heaviest knife and my lightest knife to the show. Yeah, this got a big kick. You'll probably see floating around Instagram and whatnot, this next to, in other people's hands. Everybody kind of wanted to see it, which was great. It was a great time. All right, so I did pick up a couple things there. As the title mentioned, there is a box here from VC Edge. Went out to lunch with him and his lovely girlfriend. And Eric, another buddy of mine, asked me to pick up the Monkey Edge Strider knife for him. Kind of proxied this. And I haven't done a full video or nothing yet, but I was able to get one. They actually had 3 different models. There was this one that was all black, and then one that was kind of black and gray. And this one has the Bowie. I get it wrong every time, so I just say it both ways each time. But very cool. It's VG10 scales, and from a company called VZ Grips. They actually make grips for like custom G10 grips for pistols. I had to look them up. It's kind of cool. I saw it kind of up inside. It's engraved inside where it came from. Dr. Drew Dude says he's getting back into what's he say? He's getting back into watches and he 100% blames me. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry, not sorry. What can I tell you? Speaking of watches, here is what I was carrying on the plane on my way down to the California Custom Knife Show, which is in Orange County. It's in Anaheim, just about a mile away from Disneyland. I actually took my girlfriend with me. She did not go to Disneyland. She didn't go to the show. She just kind of hung out and whatnot. So we had a good time. But yeah, so I did carry the Rolex Air King. I did take my Deep Black Planet Ocean as well, and I wore that part of the day. But yeah, this was my airplane carry, the rule number 9 Hank from Hell of a Hanks through Alice from Ali Paracord. So that was awesome. Yeah. Tony blames Dirk a lot. I do get that a lot. What can I tell you guys, right? I mean, oh geez, Aussie Mike is gonna blame me too. Aussie Mike, there's an unboxing coming tomorrow. It's not yours, but it happens to be in Magna Cut. Check it out. All right, so really, let me see what else. What other pictures I got here? We'll show you a couple things. I did get a great seat on the plane on the way down. Not such a great seat on the way home. It was an early morning flight, so I got to see the sunrise up over the clouds, which was just actually pretty cool. So that was pretty fun. Kind of zoomed in there playing with the camera because, why not? As I'm waiting in line to get into the show, I, of course, met a watch buddy, a watch friend that I didn't know who was wearing one of the watches that I actually really want. Rolex Hulk. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Yes, Brave Sailor, I did take Southwest. So, yeah. Bros, I don't know how to pronounce this, but you want a peacemaker? Reach out to Phil Harvey. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. He's super great. He is in the UK, so it does take a day or so for him to get back to you. But he is making these, and they're worth it. They're really not that expensive, relatively speaking. I think it was when I got this one a couple of years ago. I want to say 1,600 new, which for a handmade custom knife of that size at literally just over 2 pounds, not a bad deal. Yeah, unfold it. Here, let me change the screen a little bit so you can get it a little bit bigger there. There we go. Yeah, this is a beat. Hold on, let me go like this. Take that away. So yeah, here is the Peacemaker in all of its glory, if you will. No, this is not Magna Cut. This is Indy 2, but yeah, this is just an absolute beast. It is super sharp. I've done videos. Jim Skelton's done videos. It's got fingerprints on it now just from opening it. It's a crazy beast. It is 3/8 of an inch thick blade. Yes, 3/8. Weighs in at just, I don't know, 2 pounds, 5 ounces, 2 pounds, 8 ounces, something like that. And it does fit in my pocket. I don't think I have a picture here in this album that I'm showing. But yeah, I did carry it in literally in my pocket. The pocket clip was sticking out. Everybody was asking, hey, what's that in your pocket? And yeah. And then I pulled this in contrast out of my jacket pocket. And this comes in at 1.5 ounces. So I went from 2 pounds to 1.5 ounces. It kind of blew everybody's mind. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, you got to be worthy to handle the Peacemaker. No, I let everybody handle it over there at the show. It was awesome. It was so great. It just was so great. Will says, my wife said it looks like a folding meat cleaver. She asked if you're butchering cows. Honestly, this Peacemaker was made to do work. Phil Harvey calls it a log splitter. I think I spliced in at the end of my Peacemaker video, a video of him splitting logs with it. So yeah, it is actually, it's good to go. I actually cut a, those paper towel tubes. People do those cuts. I've actually done one with the Peacemaker. It split it down, no problem. All right, so what other pictures do I have here that are worthwhile? I already showed those. This was, and then we'll get to the VC Edge. I promise. That's what I really want to show here in just a second anyway. But let me go like this. There's I think they said this was like a 26 or 36 pound razor. So it's a company that I sat and talked with them for a little bit. I was super interested in the whole straight razor or the single edge razor deal. The company is called Black Stand Razor. Is it Black Stand? Black Land. Can barely read. Black Land razors. So they made this one 6 times the size of the standard ones over here in the corner. So yeah, it was pretty neat talking with them. Here's the Peacemaker next to that. Just so now it doesn't make the Peacemaker look so big anymore, does it? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So all right, let's get to the VC Edge stuff. Let me just, I don't know. You guys don't want to, I don't want to bore you with like my home movies and my baby pictures. So I did go to lunch with Jason Van Camp. He did come and hang out with me at the show for a bit as well. And he said, hey, I got something in the car for you. Do you want to see it? or do you want me to seal it up and give it to you after, we eat lunch? I said, dude, just seal it up and I will just open it like I did the interfaces, because I didn't know what to expect. When he sent me this interface, we had talked about what it was going to look like, but I didn't know. He hadn't sent me any pictures. He didn't tell me anything about it. I opened it sight unseen, and much like I am doing now with what he told me was 2 things inside of here. And there is no note, there is no nothing. So I'm not going to have all the details on these other than they are new, prototype, not available yet, like things like that. So yeah, we'll see what we got here. Oh, wow. All right. So this is super freaking cool. A coin, VC, VC for his logo. And then on this side, it says, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. And that is actually what he wrote on the box that he sent me of my full dress interface. Jason, that's freaking badass. I do collect challenge coins and things like that. This is just awesome. And it's got the periodic table symbols there for the different materials that he uses. And yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm really touched. Thank you. So there were 2 things in the box. This one I get to keep. He told me I get to keep one thing, and the other thing I need to send back at some point. Here we go. This is a fixed blade kitchen knife. And see, I'm not sure how it comes out exactly. So we'll, so you push it down here, and I'll do a full video on this. Don't worry, guys. But wow, look at that thing. If it will focus here. Man, this is supposed to be the hot crap camera, but I guess I have too close. So it's built the same way. Probably M390, I'm guessing, because that's what he likes to use. Red liners on these carbon fiber body. Like, this is just insane. What's it say over here? Prototype number 2. Yep, M390. It's hard to show at the camera and look at it at the same time. So, wow. This thing is pretty cool little fixed blade kitchen knife. So I am going to give this some love in the kitchen. What I'm going to actually probably do is have my girlfriend come over and cook something, because God knows I don't really do the kitchen knife thing. If it doesn't go in the microwave and make it easy, I don't usually do it. The sheath is super totally badass. Look at that. It just, you push down and it releases and then it locks itself back in. It's just, that's totally cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Jason, I don't know that you're watching, but that is totally rad. And I'm super, super excited to check that out and do a full video on it. And of course, buy one when it comes out, because I am a fanboy. Because I think it's worth it. There is some hype over these, but they're so ingenuitive that I think they deserve some hype. I don't know, but I'm not trying to be the hype guy. I'm not like a lot of the other channels. I'm not just out to say everything is great. In fact, the unboxing I do tomorrow, I have a couple comments on. There's things I don't like now that I've handled it all day today. So yeah, I try to be completely open and honest about the good and the bad. And when I did the first video of a VC Edge, it was version 1. I had some comments. I talked to Jason about those. He explained why he did them and how he was going to resolve some issues. So it's very cool. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's get a couple of comments here. That does look like a nice little slicer. I do all the cooking in my house. The only way I can guarantee I won't get food poisoning. Eek! I'm gonna leave that comment alone. Let's take a look up here and just see if there's any other ones. I know Alice said that Jeff, her boyfriend, says the Peacemaker is badass. The Peacemaker is completely ridiculous. This is a ridiculous piece of work, but it is also completely freaking awesome. And I've got a couple other crazy ones from Phil Harvey also, the War Crime and the Gladius. I love him. I mean, he's a great guy. We got to have him on the EDC hour at some point. We haven't done that yet. We've got a bunch of people we want to have on the EDC hour. And if you guys are not watching the EDC hour, you need to go watch it. You need to go check out our live stream with Alex and I every other Sunday at 5 Pacific. I'll put a link to the channel in the description once we're done here. But yeah, it's at EDC hour. I don't know why it's such a small channel, but it is, whatever. All right, what else? What other comments we got here? Will, come on now. Will, he feels the food poisoning comment. All right, let me take a look and see what other pictures I have here that might be of interest to you guys. This one might be all right. There was a bunch. There was a Medford dealer there, and I actually talked to him quite a bit. I don't remember his name, but he's Gromit's Knife and Carry. And they also do, I have some business cards here. They also do a bunch of custom leather work, belts, sheaths, everything leather, basically, except for saddles, I think he said. He was really cool to talk to. Here's his business card that you can't see because it's too small. If I make this bigger. He was really cool to talk to. They had ProTech, they had Spartan knives. He was really cool. I actually ended up spending quite a bit of time talking with him, which was fun. Some more of his stuff there. This was at the Olamic booth. Man, these were beautiful. Look at those things. Who's this? Bros Failure. Gromitz is amazing. He seemed like a great dude. Is that Bros Fel? Is that Joe? That picture looks like Joe. Is that you, Joe? So yeah, these knives were from the Olamic booth. Yeah, they were pretty awesome. This bottom one was so comfortable in the hand. So comfortable. Here it is again, just a different angle. Just some random stuff from Olamic. There was a brand new Todd Begg bodega there that I got to handle, which was super cool. All right, Joe, now I know who you are. Yeah, that bodega was pretty cool to handle. The King Battle. It's my buddy Tristan's. At some point, it might come into my collect. I don't know. Yeah, it's next level Frank Fisher battle there. That's just incredible. It's, and I've got a battle over here. That one, I don't know that it blows mine away, but it's something. There was some watches there at the knife show. They were selling this. Actually, this IWC, the gentleman took it off his wrist and handed it to me to check out. It's pretty cool. I liked it. I'm not going to go buy one, but then he had these ones for sale. Tudor, couple Rolex, IWC. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So here's the 3 battles together. The King battle, my larger battle, and my smaller battle. So you can see why I need to have this in my collection. So game of navs. Yeah. Tristan, just let me know, man. Yes, I'm trying to corner the market. Will. What else do I got here as pictures? This was just some of the stuff that we were sharing outside of the show, just at a table. So yeah, some of these are mine. The Peacemaker, the Frank Fisher Fury, and RJ Martin, the King Battle, Tim Gallion, Shiro, Hellraiser, Ryu, Battle. yeah, it was just a fun time outside of the show. You know what I mean? Yeah, this RJ Martin is fan freaking tastic. Yeah, beautiful Q36SS. And Jason from VC Edge pulled this out of his pocket and said, "Hey, what do you think about that?" I think, "Can I keep it?" He goes, "No, you can hand it back now." Yeah, this is pre-prototype, also much like the fixed blade here. Um, he's still working out some stuff. This one weighed in, I think I want to say he said it was an ounce. I don't remember exactly now, but it was crazy light. And he pulled a watch off of his wrist. These Porsche design that he bought a few years back. I don't remember exactly when he bought it, but that's Jason's watch. It's super cool. I tried it on. It's a little bigger, but to to rotate the bezel, you have to pop it out of its case. Like it rotates up, and then you can rotate the bezel, and then you click it back down. It's totally bizarre. And then here's just a bunch of random people at the show. And then I think we went to lunch. Yeah, we went to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, like you guys care. And then back to the room for sunset. I know, super exciting. I bored you with my kids' home movies there type of thing. So, uh, did you see any custom Emersons? I did not see any custom Emersons. I did see. I went to a lot of other booths. I totally suck at the picture thing during the shows. And I should have done a bunch of videos, and I could have made a bunch of shorts and a bunch of YouTube content, but I didn't. Um, I did see Kurt American and talked with him quite a bit. He is a friend of mine, and saw some of his new stuff. Um, I talked to Focusrite, Focus Works, Jordy over there. He made the Cylon that Jim Skelton, it's a flashlight that he designed. But Focusworks also has some other flashlights I was super interested in, and I may have to reach back out. There was also a company for you, anybody really into chef knives, Running Man Forge. Justin, super cool dude, makes a bunch of handmade custom chef knives right here in Vacaville. And I'm in Napa, so it's like 20 minutes away, just up the road. So you may see some more stuff from him on the channel. I'm going to talk to him about doing a custom chef knife for my son, who is a chef here in Napa. I told him I had a channel and maybe we can do some stuff. And yeah, he seemed really cool, local guy. But yeah, I don't know. The show was fun. They are doing it again in the fall. And I think I will go down in the fall to check out that one as well. That's the one I normally go to. I'm not sure why I jumped and went to the spring one. First time I've ever been to the spring one. I think they did the spring one last year, but I don't remember. So, yeah, it's a cool show. For me, it's easy because it's local. You know what I mean? It's a quick flight down on Southwest and then back home. And the room was relatively cheap. I just stayed at the Embassy Suites where the show is. So I think I may go down in the fall for the Friday night Blade affair, the show on Saturday, and then like have breakfast, chat with people on Sunday, and then come home. I don't know. We'll see. Was Koenig there? No, they were not there. I did not see them there anyway. This was really cool stuff. A lot of things I've never seen before. Well, thanks, man. I tried to show the stuff that people don't see. I don't know. I don't do a lot of the production, Benchmades and Spyderco's and Kershaw. Like, I mean, I show a lot of that stuff because I do have a kind of a sponsor that does support, a supporter that sends me a lot of the production Benchmades and Protex and stuff. But I really get excited about the custom knives myself. I really get more excited about customs just in my journey. It's still winter. I know it's kind of still winter, but they called it the spring event. I will let him know. It was reasonably priced. Honestly, it was like $600 at the table. So, um, but yeah, he's super excited about getting it. He's in Florida, but I'll let him know that he has a buyer if and when he's ready to let it go. It actually is kind of broken in. Where did I set that one? Kind of move some stuff around. Um, it's broken in, so it's a bit smoother now. It's got the standard lock stick, like Strider lock stick, but it is pretty smooth. But it's got that lock stick that Strider is famous for. I actually did get to meet Mick Strider, not here at the Monkey Edge booth, but over at the Strider booth. That was actually kind of cool. I had never met him before. A friend of mine that I met down there, Gary, introduced me to him, and yeah, it was cool. We chatted for a minute. He doesn't remember me or know who I am, but that's okay. Koenig will be at the Oz Machine Makers Invitation in September in Indianapolis. Okay, there you go. If anybody wants to go see Koenig, guys, they'll be over there. G-Man Black, he likes the weird stuff. That's why I watch you. Well, thank you. I try to show the weird stuff. I try to show the normal stuff. I try to have a mix of stuff. Like there's some channels that do just customs. There's some channels that do just productions. I kind of do a mix of the two. And then some random just discussion stuff. I've done, something I'm pretty passionate about. I have a playlist on my channel on is, mental health. And, I won't go into a lot of details here, but it has affected my family. So I have experience with mental health through family members and things like that. So I've done a few videos just talking about that and how other YouTube channels have helped support me when I've had, issues or things in my personal life. So yeah, I try to talk about stuff that's relatable to our community and build a community and, just have fun. This is not a business for me. I'm not hyping up stuff. I'm not saying, hey, use all my links because I get 10% back. No. Like I've said before, I have 2 affiliate links. Amazon, which I think in the 3 years I've had an Amazon affiliate program link or whatever, they've paid me like $12 or something because nobody ever buys anything from my links. That's fine. I don't care. But I have an Amazon thing. So if you ever want to buy Amazon stuff, I can shoot you a link and then I get some money back, whatever. And then Skull Shaver is an electric shaver for your head. They asked me to be part of their program after I bought one and used it for a while and did a video. They reached out to me and I said, sure. Okay. So those are the only 2 I have. I'm not out trying to hawk every new knife or every retailer or anything like that. I just don't do that. It's not my thing. I could care less about that. I have a real job that pays all my bills and allows me to buy all this cool stuff. So that's just my story. Whatever. I'm just not that guy. EDC for fun. I remember when you did Skull Shaver, it was surprised because you don't normally do that. Yeah. So I threw Skull Shaver out there. Like I figured it is a cutting tool. And so when I bought my kit, I did a video on it. And I was like, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe people will watch, maybe they won't. I don't really care. And it actually got more video it got a ton of views, got a lot of traction, got some subscribers out of it. The Skull Shaver guys somehow saw it and picked it up and they reached out to me and asked if I needed any extra blades or anything like that. And yeah, so now I have a guy over there I can text and he'll send me a blade, when I need blades and stuff like that. So yes, I get free blades from them. Okay, big deal. But I genuinely love the product. I mean, I've been shaving my head for 20 plus years and I've used pretty much every method other than the straight edge and other than a double edge safety razor stuff. That scares me. I almost would rather shave my head with this than a straight razor or a single edge thing. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, I've used all the cartridge things, Dollar Shave Club, Head Blade, like all these things. And I was just tired of cutting my head. So I gave the Skull Shaver a try. It's not as close, but it's close enough. Alice, good night. Thanks for joining in. Joe, oh man, Skull Shaver is awesome. Pitbull Platinum for the win. That's the one I have. Is the Pitbull Platinum, and it works great. I've had zero problems. I've had some people ask, "Hey, I saw a review where the paint started chipping off and all that." No, mine lives in the shower. I just take a couple of minutes every morning in the shower, and off I go. Will Carey bought one as a Christmas present, and he loves it. That's great. I think they're great. I can't speak highly enough about them, regardless of the affiliate program I'm part of, and it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to always tell you guys how it is, the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. Like I said, I'm just an average guy here having fun. All right, let's see what other comments we got here. Videos, if you use the Peacemaker to shave your head, please. No, I'm not actually going to do it. But yeah. Joe says he usually does a dry shave. So when you say you do a dry shave, are you using just like water in the sink as like some sort of lubricant? How I do it is I use a little bit of like old school shaving cream, like Barbasol, I think is what I buy, just regular cream. It actually works better with the cream than the gel. So I use a gel on my face with Dollar Shave Club, and I use cream on my head with the Skull Shaver every day. I generally don't skip a day. I may skip one day here or there. When I go off-roading in Moab every year, I usually go 3 or 4 days, and then I shave my head. So, yeah, no, I think the Skull Shavers are very cool. I'll put a promo code link thing, just if anybody's curious, in the description when we're done also. All right, let me scroll up here and see if there's any other comments. I think the comments are slowing down, so maybe we've been here long enough. Nobody wants to hear me talk that much. I didn't want to make this a huge, like, I'm not the guy that does a live stream for like 3 or 4 hours. Like, I'm not that guy. There's enough other people doing that sort of content that I don't need to do that. Yes, you could cut anything with the Peacemaker. I've split 2x4s with it, 4x4s with it myself out in the backyard. Steve Harvey. I was just watching Family Feud earlier. Phil Harvey has a video on his YouTube channel of him splitting logs at his shop in the UK. All right, Joe, what do you do here? I started using a fancy shaving cream with a brush and all. Then I went to a shave gel, but now I do a completely dry shave, no water or anything. With your Skull Shaver, no water, no nothing. But you're rinsing the Skull Shaver out, like in the middle or something, right? But no water, no nothing on your head. I've not done it totally dry. I did try it with like wetting my head, and I didn't really like that, but I've never done it like dry. Wow. G-Man Black, he agrees. Family Feud rocks. I love it. I even like watching some of the old rerun ones from the 70s. If I kind of scrolling around and see those, it's just fun. It's a fun show. Yeah, Dr. Drew, dude. Joe is a bit of a sadist. I know Joe for many years. Let's just not even go there. I'm not even going to go into the story time. So, all right. Any other questions while we're here? I'll give it a minute to see if there's anything else. What else did I take with me to the show? I think you saw most of the stuff in that one picture. I took my battles. I took my Frank Fisher Fury, which I have right over here. The Fury is pretty cool. I just recently bought this from Nav Sargent, who is now Level Up Custom Knives. Very cool. I had to have a Fury in my collection. I don't know. I do like all things Fisher. So that's what I did. This one has great action. Little small, but it does work and fit in my hands. So I do very much enjoy that. Joe says, back on the skull shaver, it works surprisingly well. I take off the blade and dump it out halfway through, and usually every other shave, I'll rinse it out. I may have to try that, Joe. I don't know. Will, do you need a new nail pack? I don't know. Do I? Do you have one you're trying to get rid of? I mean, I have several. I do love my nail pack cases. Let me grab it. I'll show you the one I took with me. So it is a Pelican case, and this came from Nalpac as a package. Like, it just ordered it from them. And I've shown videos on these before and stuff too, but whatever. And this one's got what, 7 slots? It works great. And yes, the Peacemaker can fit in here. It sticks out really high, and it kind of compresses the foam in the top, and it's kind of deformed the foam right here a little bit, but it works great. Like, this is great. And I love Pelican. So I took this, I loaded it up with some knives, and I stuck it inside of my Pelican carry-on case, because I have a Pelican suitcase that I then check under the plane. It works great. I love Pelican stuff. Another Nalpac case I have, which I love this one too, and I think Will has seen this one. This one is more of an EDC one. So you got 4 slots for knives, 2 watches, and a spot for a flashlight or a small knife. A small knife will fit in here. You can put 2 watches in here. It's just awesome. This is a great case as well. And these are about, I think it was 100 and something for this one. Not too bad. The other one was about the same. And I think I have a different one also. I won't even put that one away. I'll just throw it over there for now. No, he doesn't. Will does not have an Nalpac. He just thinks I might need an expanded version. Yes, I do. I need to come up with a better way. I really need to come up with a better way of carrying knives around the show, because I literally just carried that Nalpac in my hand. Got a little tiresome after a little bit. If you can dry shave with it, I need to try this. Yes, you can dry shave with the skull shaver. If you look on my channel, I have a skull shaver playlist. In that playlist has links and promo codes and all that good stuff if you want to check those out. Gary, I got to be honest. I'm not going to go into the whole story. Gary saved my bacon. Okay, I've known Gary as well in person. Well, we have a history together that we didn't even really knew we had a history together, but we do in the off-roading world. And he saved my bacon there at the show. Awesome dude. Lives in Fresno, which is what, maybe 3 or 4 hours from me in Napa? Maybe? I don't know. We may have to come up with a spot to get together and get together before the next show just to hang out, because that was a good time hanging out with you and all that good stuff. What do we got here? Maybe a spider pack in Indiana Jones it through a show. I am actually not familiar with what the spider pack is. I will look it up. But yeah, I was thinking of like a kind of a sling bag or something. I tried to stick the Nalpac into my backpack, but then it became like this far off of my back, and it wasn't very conducive. But yeah, carrying that Pelican case around throughout the show kind of got a little bit much. So yeah, Harris Ranch, that might be a great spot to meet and do like a lunch kind of right between. I mean, yeah. Oh, G-Man Black. What do I off-road? Okay, so The short version is I owned a Jeep back in 03, bought a Jeep Grand Cherokee bone stock. In 03, it was a 96. I built the hell out of it, did a 4.6 liter stroker, had custom trans built, heavy duty transfer case, axle swaps, was running 37s with a 7-inch lift. Then I got into Ultra 4 racing. Well, I got into We Rock first and worked with teams there. I was also an AMSOIL dealer, so I started sponsoring teams back then. Still worked with teams today. And then got into Ultra 4 rock racing. And I've been down to King of the Hammers. I did not go this year or the last couple of years. I think maybe 16 was the last year I went to King of the Hammers in 16, maybe. But yeah, I co-drove in an Ultra 4 4400 class buggy in 2014, and I co-drove the Everyman Challenge in a stock class early Bronco in 2015. And then I am part of the Utah Bronco Club, and so I go to Moab, Utah every year, the first week of May, and I've been doing that for about 6 years now. Gary says, I go there all the time. I believe he's talking about Harris Ranch. It's in my territory, Harris Ranch. And no problem. Didn't even think twice. I'm glad it worked out with the monkey. Yeah. So I don't know, Gary, we got to get together. I think we'd have a cool time. I'd bring some different knives and, just kind of hang out for a little bit, find a spot. Cause yeah. And I do think, Gary, I think you joined late. I am going to probably try to go down to California Custom in October or November. I see both dates. I don't think there's an official date yet, but I may come down for the Friday Night Blade Affair and do that, actually. I've never done the Friday night thing. I'm not Richie Rich enough for that usually, but, maybe I'll just go and just watch. Professor, what's going on, man? It's been a while since we've chatted, sir. I apologize for that. I'm amiss. For not reaching out sooner, probably. That's probably my bad. Yeah, I wanted to do a quick live. So for you guys that are joining late, there's a couple of reasons why I did a live, because I wanted to do an unboxing of this new Monkey Edge Strider knives. I'm not even a Strider guy, so I don't know. Is this the SNG, SM? I don't know. I can't ever keep track of what their numbers and letters are. But I picked this up at the California Custom Knife Show for a friend that asked for it. And then I met with Jason at VC Edge, and he gave me a super amazing challenge coin. Like, yeah, I'm just blown away. And then on the backside, it's got his logo. It's just super cool. And a very early prototype fixed kitchen knife from VC Edge, all carbon fiber with an M390 blade. That's for those of you that are joined late or didn't, whatnot. So won't spend a ton of time on that. You can go back, but the sheath thing on this is just push down. It releases, put it back in, and it clips back in. Super awesome. Okay, so yeah, this Strider is the SNG. I don't know anything about Striders really. I mean, I know a little bit, but yeah, they're not my thing. I don't love the big butt. I mean, I like big butts. Can I lie? But this one doesn't really do it for me. But it is surprisingly comfortable. It's actually more comfortable reverse grip. When you're a ninja knife fighter, then you're, good to go. I don't know. But yeah, so anyway, Eric wanted me to pick it up. He's in Florida. He asked me if I mentioned I was going on Instagram or something, and he goes, hey, could you get this for me? Sure, whatever. Pay me back. It's fine. Whatever. Gets me content. I get to do a video on that now. All right, let me scroll up here and see if there's any other comments I'm missing, and then we'll just kind of wrap it up here. Depends on if someone has coarse or fine hair, but I don't know. But yeah, Dr. Drew, check out the Skull Shaver playlist that I have because it might be of interest to you. I don't know. I think it's a great, wonderful device. I have not cut my head since, and that's what it's all about. It's supposed to be super fast, and they say 90 seconds. It's not 90 seconds. But yeah. Yeah, and G-Man Black says he loves big knives. Yeah, well, I got the big knives. Yeah. This thing is just so awesome. Awesome. Let me grab the other awesome one from Phil. And yes, back behind me is literally a Husky toolbox with a butcher block top. It's awesome. This is the Phil Harvey War Crime. And it's a flipper that kind of flips with some wrist. But look at the dagger, the blade profile. Is it even going to really show up? It would be like a crazy dagger if the top was sharpened. Now this one is like 3/4 plus blade thickness. Yeah, it's crazy. Phil's a nut. He's a maniac, but he's an awesome dude. And yeah, I love his stuff. This one, the lock bar is actually usable. On the Peacemaker, it's crazy. So, yeah. Aussie Mike, thank you. I appreciate your help and support. He's got another knife coming to me. I think I must have like 10 of his knives here already. If not, I probably have more than 10 knives that I need to ship down to Australia for him. And there's one on its way to me now. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit before they get shipped down. But he's totally cool, super great supporter. And I'm just, yeah, thanks, dude. At some point, I would like to go to Australia. I don't know if I could take 3 weeks off because they tell me I got to go to Australia and then just hop over to New Zealand while you're there. Since you're already that far on the other side of the planet. So they say it's like a 3-week trip. I don't know. How much is that? This Phil Harvey War Crime was about the same. All of his knives are in that 15 to 1800 range. New. I bought this used for like 14 or 15, I think. I don't remember. So yeah, awesome knives. And he's great to work with. Yeah, there is a good off-roading scene there too. Very cool. Joe, I keep wanting to get more knives, but I'm trying to do the just ask thing until I get my Gigantus from Al. So Joe's a crazy Medford fanatic. Okay. Just going to throw it out there. He is all hardcore fanboy. He was, then he wasn't, but now he is again. Just keeping it real, man. I was, and now I'm not. So leave it at that. So he is carrying just his ASK knives, which is a new subdivision, sister, daughter company of Medford. They make basically a Swiss Army knife equivalent, but out of more premium S35 and S45 VN steels. I've done videos on one of those too. How much is that? How much is that? How much was that? So 2 people asked, Beefer Baron, holy, how much is that? I'm guessing you're also talking about the War Crime, but the Peacemaker and the War Crime are both in that $1,600 to $1,800 US price range. And that's shipped from Phil in the UK. His prices may have changed slightly, but you're going to be under $2,000, I'm guessing. I haven't talked to him lately. But there may be a wait. He's been a couple of years out before, or he's been like 3 months. You kind of just wherever you hit him. And same with Darren. I think you were asking about the same thing. Professor, I want to try a diarrhea. Did we not send you a diarrhea at some point? No, I sent my diarrhea to the knife junkie. That's right. Yeah, diarrhea is cool. I owned one. I loved it. It was a recurved Honto. I loved it, but I was chasing some stuff, as we do, and you sell this to buy that. I'm kind of people ask me what my next knife is. I don't know. I'm actually really kind of comfortable with my collection right now. There are some things that I want. I got to handle. I didn't even. I had a video, but it didn't come up over here. My little slide, my pictures earlier on. I got to handle a Stan Wilson non-flipper flipper this weekend. If you're not familiar with a Stan Wilson non-flipper flipper, you should Google that and look at it. It is insane. And I want one now. I kind of wanted one before, but after handling one, I want one. Those are years to wait or spend extra money on the secondary because they are available once in a while. I am working with Ed Kim over Red Horse Knife Works to do the last custom Hellraiser. So that will happen maybe this year, maybe next year. I don't know. And I've talked to Todd Fisher Sr. about doing a small Archangel to kind of mimic the look and feel of this mini or smaller battle. Not exact. I actually want Todd to forge his own Damascus and do something maybe along this line, because I think that might be really cool. Yeah, the Stan Wilson was just a mechanical genius. Yeah, crazy. It's literally it's a backlock. It's a backlock that you actuate by either pushing on the backlock or by rotating one of the bolsters, and then it through the mechanism it activates the backlock. It's crazy. And then there's a screw way up inside that you need a special little tool, and that's where you adjust the detent. Up here, ER, that's it. Stan Wilson is a wizard. That's all. Yes. No truer statement could ever be made. He is literally, I saw this thing. I was like, oh my God. It was amazing. And I need to have one now. I'm not going to call it a grail. Everybody has multiple grails. I think it's kind of silly. I've had one grail, and that was the Frank Fisher battle. I now own two of them. At some point, I will own a third. But that's still that changed my collecting. I have not lusted since I got the battle, really. Yeah, Will, it's mechanical art. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Stan Wilson is just a genius. ER. Yeah, he does look like a wizard. He's an older dude, big gray beard. Like, yeah. But yeah, he's just a genius. And I got to talk to my friend who owns a non-flipper flipper, another guy I met there at the show who brought his full dress non-flipper flipper, which was available, but I didn't even ask because I didn't want to know how much, because then I would have started that mental justification, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. That mental justification. Well, I'm here. It's available. It's one of one. It's like, and then I would have probably talked myself into it. I didn't even want to know. Joe, Joe says, I haven't lusted since I got the Arius. I had an Arius. Like, I've done videos on a couple different Ariuses. Arius I? Arius. And I finally bought one. I think I traded. I did like a trade plus cash, something. I don't know. I ended up owning one of my own. And I got bored of it pretty quick. It's super fidgety. I just didn't own it. I just couldn't own it very long. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I just can't. And so I sold it off. I have the same feeling with the CKF Evos. I really want them. I love them. They're super fun. Professor EDC sent me one. It was all blacked out of the Evo 3.0. And I loved it, but I just wouldn't own one. Don't know. I can't explain it. I think somebody's going to be sending me in actually an Ares and an Evo so that I can do a video just talking about how I really want one, but I won't own one. I need to mentally figure out why exactly that is. Did I get anything at the show? I personally did not pick up anything at the show for myself. I did just pick up this Strider for a buddy, and then I got this loaned in VC Edge because I met with Jason and had lunch with him at the show. Yeeks. So I'm dropping it all over the place here. Aussie Mike sending me another knife. Is that another knife from what you emailed me earlier about? Dude, at some point, I'm going to have so many of your knives, I'm going to have to just put them on a plane and fly down there. Hand deliver. Joe, it has the same hardware as my fell holder tie bolt, so I wonder if I just love the symmetry there. You know, I'm all into the matching thing. Like you've seen on my Instagram stuff, a lot of times I match my watch with my knife and my flashlight goes with it. You know, I have a carbon fiber flashlight I wear with certain things. I do this with another and all that. So yeah, I'm all about the matching. So I get that. Regards, Professor EDC. Professor EDC's, I owned 2 Ares, but there was no chemistry. It's a great folder, but just no gimmick. Yeah, there's something about the Ares that there's a lot of appeal to me, but more of a novelty, I guess. My older brother, he's a knife collector also. He had a couple of Ares. He's gone through the Ares thing also, and he doesn't keep them very long either. All right, thanks, Aussie Mike. So there's a couple more coming. Peter over at A Therapeutic Edge, him and Women Carry Knives actually have a bunch of Mike's knives right now. We're going to get together this weekend. I'm going to get those back from Peter and Christine because they've filmed and are done with them. And then I'm going to give them a few more of Mike's knives plus some other people's knives. And then I guess there's some more coming in from Aussie Mike. Now, Aussie Mike doesn't send them to me from Australia. He buys them here locally in the States and has them shipped to me from the retailers and whatnot. So yeah, it's super cool that I know Aussie Mike does that. I know that my buddy Tony does that also with a lot of knives. So I get to see them. I get to open them. I get to do videos. I get to play with them long before they ever do. It's just really an honor. It really is. Dr. Drew, thanks. Have a great one. I appreciate you stopping by. Aussie Mike says, I'm not drawn to the Evos and Ares either. Good. They're cool, but they're not. Like, they're cool, but I don't own them. I have owned them, and I have not wanted to keep them. Yeah, so this is a good comment here. Darren, I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name because I'll screw it up, and I don't want to insult you. It's all about the extra hype. Then you're like, meh. Dude, it's so true. And I think I blame YouTube. Like, I blame YouTube. And a lot of YouTubers for creating false hype. And I try not to do that. And if you see me do that, or you buy a knife that you think is great just because I said it was great, and you don't like it, please reach out to me and tell me. Because I would like to know why. Like, just because I like something doesn't mean you will. And I try to be super honest about that stuff in my videos, like, hey guys, like this RJ Martin. I love it, but the detent is really hard. And it's in Magna Cut. So I know Aussie Mike likes it. But I kind of gotta actuate it from like the side of my finger. I can't do it like normal. Like this is like finger breaking. So I gotta go from the side, which works fine. But I don't like the mirrored polished blade. Like it's almost mirrored. I don't like that. So I try to be honest in my videos and I try not to create extra hype for no reason. I think I did create some hype over the VC Edge interfaces, but I think it's warranted because it's just so innovative and different. You know what I mean? So I I don't know. I try not to get on the hype train. And so if you ever see me get on the hype train, please call me out on my crap. Please. Will Carey, fountain pens are starting to give me a new bug. You know, when I was in like junior high and high school, I so wanted to do the fountain pen thing. So it was like eons ago. And I did. I bought a fountain pen and it had a cartridge that you did. Like you weren't filling it up from like an ink bowl. And it was cool, but it was kind of like an Arius. I thought it was cool, and then I just kind of got over that. I'm not into the big. I try to stay away from the pens, and I'm trying to stay away from the flashlights and the torches. But there was like an $8,000 flashlight at the show. Yeah. I insist over and over about hype and how it is so important to be objective. Yeah. I mean, it's not every YouTuber. Like, it's certainly not me, I don't think. It's not Professor EDC. I'm not going to go into names. I mean, I think you guys know who is and who isn't the hype masters. I always talk about just watch videos. Don't just watch one person. Like, if you're interested in a VC Edge interface, Google that on YouTube. Like, search that on YouTube and listen to several people talk about it. Get everybody's opinion and then make your own decisions. Darren says he loves his Praetorian T, Vulcan Tonto stainless glass handle. I'm still in awe. There's nothing wrong with a Praetorian T. Nothing wrong. I owned a bunch of them at one point. I like the tie better. I like a little bit more grip in my hand. As long as you're honest, that's all I want. We're allowed to have different tastes. Yeah, that's so true, man. Like that right there is life. We can disagree in real world. Doesn't mean I don't like you. Doesn't mean I don't respect you. I just don't agree with your thoughts on, name the topic. Knives, guns, cars, trucks, four-wheel drive versus two-wheel drive. Like, again, be polite and professional in everything you do, and you're good. Oh boy, now Darren wants to sell his Eris. Maybe we could sell it right here on the show. Joe, thanks for hanging out, man. Though I'm also guilty of hype when I get excited or really love something. I think that's natural. We get excited about something and we kind of create a little hype, but I still try to point out the negatives. Will, I got to say, if you are the Fisher, I got to say it, you're the Fisher hype guy. You got me with TJ and I love it. Lube it. Love it. Yeah, I think the Fisher family has done great things. I think Frank Fisher, and we're not going to go into details, he screwed up. He made a ginormous mistake. It cost lives, literally, and I don't condone any of that. He is still an amazing craftsman and expert in his field. And you can't take that away from him, regardless of what he did or didn't do. Todd Sr., legend in the knife community. They're a great family. Would now be a good time to ask your biggest EDC related hot take. I'm not sure I understand the question. They have. I'm sure he's talking about the Fishers just being incredible in their field and done a lot for the knife community. And I mean, I own one from all of them. I own Todd Senior Archangel. I own the Frank Fisher battles, and I own a TJ Fisher Cobra, which it's right here. It's what TJ calls a half dress. So it's got the Damascus clip and the Damascus blade, polished perimeters, and then just a white Cerakote, I think is what he did on this one. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So I do have something from all three of the Fishers, which is one of my things. We understand when somebody makes hype unintentionally because he loves the knife. The bad thing is when it is more for monetary reasons. Yeah, Marcos. That's what I'm talking about. There are some people, channels, whatever, that are in it for the money. Their channel is their business, and I'm not begrudging them. But as Jim Skelton did a video recently, you gotta, when somebody says that every knife that comes across their table and they're doing 2 or 3 videos a day is the greatest knife they've ever seen, and they never say anything bad, you gotta take that into account, I think. Hot take, meaning something that grinds your gears. I think, yeah, there's really the hype, the people that are really just in it for the money, and the people that are super against anything not American made. I'm all for American made knives. But there's a lot of great knives that are made outside the United States. Not just in China. They make stuff in South Africa that's freaking typically blows away American custom makers. There, I said it. So I think that kind of stuff, when you're not open, when you have a closed mind and you're just preaching one thing and you're just hype, those are kind of my pet peeves, if you will. Professor EDC doesn't know the story of Frank Fisher. We'll talk to you about that separate, man. Carry what you love. You're missing the Robert Carter. Yeah, I don't have anything from Robert Carter. I've talked to him quite a bit on and off. I did a video on a Fury recently that TJ finished up, that Frank worked on, TJ worked on, Robert Carter worked on, and apparently the pizza guy helped with. He was delivering pizza and helped out a little bit on it. So yeah, Robert Carter's pretty cool. He does some cool stuff. At some point, I would like to have one. Professor EDC is so on the Fisher hype train. Yeah, there's a lot of cool makers out there, guys. Just be an open mind. Buy what you want to buy. Don't buy because somebody told you it's the greatest thing in the world. Watch 3 or 4 different people talk about the same knife or the same flashlight or the same pen or the same whatever. Like when I'm buying TVs, I go and look at stuff and I buy different TV stuff. You know what I mean? I typically buy Samsung. Whoa. Aussie Mike with the super chat. Dude. I don't know. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I don't do any live streams really, so I never get super chats here. And the EDC hour, we don't have 1,000 subscribers yet. We got like 400. So we'll probably never get monetized over there. But all right, what about David Moser, Dirk? I really love those. Yeah, they do some good stuff. I'm not super familiar with them, but yeah, there's a ton of good makers, and there's knives I haven't even done. I do a video every day for 3 years now, and there's still makers like I didn't even know this guy existed until the other day, type of thing. So there's so much out there. There's such variety. It's nuts. Yeah, it's crazy stuff, man. Oh boy, Will Carey can't let Aussie Mike, fund it himself, I guess. You guys are funny. I appreciate it. Thank you. YouTube gets there like 30% or whatever, but hey, it's all good. Again, like I said earlier, I'm here to have fun, share some knowledge, be the average guy sitting across the table talking to you at like the picnic table at the park. And I have a job that pays my bills. So the YouTube money is just extra and I appreciate it. It just helps me lose less money a year because shipping all the knives back to people that loan them in. Yeah, I spend like $3,000 a year just shipping knives. So yeah. And no, I don't make $3,000 a year from YouTube ad revenue. So, but it's fun. I enjoy it. What are you going to do? Right. All right. Well, I think that about wraps it up, guys. I think the comments are slowing down. I'm getting tired. It's like 8 o'clock my time on the West Coast. I know some of you guys in Australia, you're 19 hours ahead. I can't even do the math. It's like tomorrow. What's happening in the future, man? He's already closer to the weekend than we are. It's crazy. This whole time zone thing just trips me out. And I've got offices all over the world. So I kind of have to like work with some of that stuff. It's crazy. So, hey guys, everybody, thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it. It's been fun. I maybe do some more live streams over on this channel every once in a while, but really we focus the live streams on the EDC hour. So again, please go check that out. Yeah, just check out the EDC hour. I would appreciate it. We'll be back in a couple of weeks over there to do another video, another live stream with Alex. So now I don't know that you can make money. I don't know if you can. I think you have to be the hypester to actually make money on YouTube. Thanks, Mike. Have a great night, guys.